Okay, everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing, as you've seen from the heading, I'm doing a St. Patrick's Day meal today. We're doing corned beef and cabbage with some carrots and some potatoes. We're doing just a traditional dinner here today. Now, the only thing that's going to be a little bit different is this is not all going to be boiled, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to sear, pan sear a little bit of the corned beef, and then we're going to kind of braise it. We're not going to actually fully cover it, and we're not putting this in a pot. We're actually going to put this in the oven. Okay, so we're going to do this a little bit different today. Hopefully you guys will like that. I know I've had it like this many a times. I absolutely love it like this. So it's not going to be traditional boiled dinner. Now you can boil everything you see here. You can put your corned beef in a pot, in a big Dutch oven pot, along with your cabbage, cut up some carrots and cut up some potatoes, and you can call it a day. We're just going to do it a little bit different. We're going to do some cabbage steaks, which basically means you're only cutting your cabbage like this in about 1-inch strips. We're going to put some olive oil on it, a little bit of salt, some fresh cracked pepper. Potatoes, we're going to do garlic mashed potatoes today. And we're going to do it, I believe I'm going to do them the old-fashioned way today, like my mom used to make. So if you guys are interested in that recipe, you can catch it here, or you can just catch my potato recipe. It's listed under potatoes 2 ways, so you can go back and watch that video if you'd like to too. And then the carrots, we're gonna blanch the carrots just for probably about 5 minutes, 6 minutes. We're gonna pull those, let them cool, and then we're gonna turn around. We're gonna put those in a skillet with some unsalted butter. I'm using unsalted today because corned beef's got naturally it's got a lot of salt in it. And we're gonna put some fresh parsley in it. Okay, and we're gonna saute those in some brown butter, and that is how we're gonna do this meal today. So not your traditional St. Patrick's Day meal, but all the ingredients, just gonna throw a little bit of a twist on it. I've made it like this many a times. That's what we got. Okay, so I basically ran down all of my ingredients for you guys. I will put the amounts used. Now I have 2 corned beefs here. Obviously, that's, for 1 or 2 people, that's a lot of corned beef. Now, this will also shrink down quite a bit. So they're about 2 1/4 pounds, 2.5 pounds a piece. You're going to be lucky if you get 2 pounds out of each one. Okay, so if you want leftovers and stuff like that, make sandwiches after, that's what you got to do. You got to buy more than you actually need. Okay, I am going to get on with this recipe. If you guys like what you guys see, share, subscribe. Could use some more subscribers. Love what the channel's doing. But if you're in here and you're stopping in for just the first time, thank you for stopping in. If you are a normal subscriber, thank you for supporting my channel. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost nothing. It just gives me more subscribers and gets to my end goal of 1,000 subscribers. That would be great. Okay, so we're going to get on with this recipe, and I'm going to show you the first step as far as what I do with the corned beef. Okay, we will be right back. Okay, so we are going to move on to the corned beef. Now, I don't know if I turn around and I said anything in the beginning of the video, but these are flats. These are not points. The reason why I particularly chose these as my cut of meat today is because the flats are a little bit more leaner. It looks a lot more nicer when you slice it. Your presentation, the point is more fattier. It shreds a little bit more. Okay, so that's about it. That's why I chose these, just in case you want to know what I was using. All right, first things first, we got to just now I've already rinsed these. Okay, I've already rinsed these. I've cleaned these. The fat cap isn't too bad on them. They did a good job actually doing this. So I don't have a lot of trimming to do. I wish I did, because then I can show you exactly how I trim it, right? But I can't do that because they did an awesome job. All right, so the only thing I'm going to do to season these, I'm going to season these pretty much just like I do any other kind of meat that I put in the oven or braise. Okay, we're gonna put some salt and pepper on it. Okay, you can be liberal with this if you want to, just like that. And we are actually going to put some pepper on the other side as well. Okay, just like that. And just a little bit of salt. We're not going to put too much salt on these because this is kind of salty enough. Just a little bit of salt. Okay, okay, so we are over at the stove, and here we go. We're going to turn around. We're going to put a little bit of crust on this. Okay, hot pan. Just put them in just like you would if you were doing a roast. Okay, grab yourself a pair of tongs, because you're going to need these to flip. It doesn't really matter what side you do as far as the fat cap or just the, the outer, without the fat cap, I guess. It doesn't matter because it's all going to get done the same anyways. So we'll probably sear these, I don't know, maybe, 5 minutes on either side. Try to get just a nice little crust. Like I said, I'm trying to stick to the traditional St. Patrick's Day meal with just a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a bump. And we're going to plate this a little bit differently. Maybe not differently, but we're going to try to go more on the, I don't even know if elegant is the word I want to use, but just a little bit different than a regular boiled dinner. And trust me, there's nothing wrong with a boiled dinner. I used to have them all the time until I started doing things like this. So, but we're just doing this for the video, basically. You get different flavors from the carrots, different flavor from the corned beef. Garlic mashed potatoes with some whole milk in it. Always nice. Lots of butter. It's going to be a good meal, and some some cabbage steaks. Cut into 1 inch with a little olive oil on it. Just a little bump up, that's all. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to, see? Look how gorgeous this is, right? Now, we're not cooking this now, so we don't have to, let's try it like that. Okay, look. Look at the colorization on that, right? Okay, so it's starting to caramelize nice. I'm going to do the first one. Like I said, you don't have to cook two. You can cook one of these, just a, serving size for potatoes are about 6 to 8 ounces. So if you're having company, figure about a half a pound of potatoes and carrots and, things like that, whatever you decide to do as a side, basically. Just figure about a half a pound, 6 to 8 ounces. And that you should be able to have an awesome meal and cook enough, right? So I just want to now show you guys exactly what this looks like, okay? And this is what I mean by searing it, okay? We're just putting a light sear on it. We're doing all over, right? Okay, and then this one's done. We're just going to take this now and transfer this to our baking dish. Okay, so we got both of our corned beefs that I just got done searing. I just wanted to show you guys exactly what I got going on here, okay? This is exactly what it's supposed to look like, right? All your sides got a little crust on them. Still very raw in the middle. You're going to do that over a medium to high heat, okay? All the edges are done, right? Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do fat cap up. All right, so find the one that has your fat cap on it, which for me is this side here. We are going to turn around and we're going to pour some water in the bottom of our pan. Maybe about a ½ inch to an inch, just about like that. About 2 cups of water for this size pan, right? Okay. And now we've already put salt and pepper on them. Now we're going to turn around and use our spice pack that this came with, okay? Now you can try to get this on both sides, but there's not a lot in these packets. There's enough, but there's not enough to do, I don't think there's enough to do both sides. But this is where this comes in now. I told you, really trying to stay to an authentic thing, just trying to make it a little bit more fancier today, because that's the mood, and this is how I usually make it when I'm not, you know, when I'm not making something else, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. All we did was sear it. We salt and peppered it in the beginning. We wiped it dry with a paper towel. If your meat is wet, then you're not going to get a good sear. So make sure you dab this with a paper towel before you start searing it. We just put black pepper on it, a little bit of crushed salt on it, and we seared it, took it out, roasting pan, about a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch of water maybe, and then we put the seasoning packs on them. And now we're going to put aluminum foil. I'm not going to show you that part because my camera freaks out every time I use aluminum foil, but we're going to put aluminum foil on this, put this in an oven of 350, and we're going to let this just basically do its thing until the internal temperature reaches about 170. Okay, so here we are on to making the what people call these cabbage steaks. Okay, basically it's cutting it an inch. Let me grab a knife. Okay, so basically what this is now is it's just cutting rounds. Basically, that's all it is. Okay, so very simple. Okay, you guys could do this along with me. This is great. Okay, so we're just going to take off a little bit of the edge, just like that, and then we're going to go in about an inch. You could do you want them thinner, you do them thinner if you want to. Okay, and then we're just gonna cut down, and that's what we're doing, just like that. Okay, remember the thicker that you cook these, the longer it is going to be to cook these. Okay, so just like that. Beautiful. And these plate up very good too as well. Okay, just like that. Look at it. Gorgeous, right? That's how you be plating that. Now these do get, obviously they get soft and they do their thing in the oven, so they might be not as sturdy after you take them out, right? Which is understandable. Okay, so that's what we're doing. You can make as many of these as you want to, guys. You want to cut the whole head up, cut the whole head up. I'm going to leave it there for now for me, because I think this is enough. We're going to get these on a cookie tray. Hey, be a great time right now to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button for me, will you? We always got some good food on this channel. Everybody's always welcome in this. If you guys got any ideas or whatever, you want me to make something, send it along. Send me a message, put it in the comments section, and I'll show you how I would do that particular recipe. I always say, you learn one thing out of all the recipes, or any recipe that you want, just one thing. It's worth watching that recipe. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. All right, so on with putting these in the pan and showing you how I do this. Okay, so you take your baking sheet and you pick up your round. Be careful with these because these will come apart, which if they do, that's fine. And in here, even though I took the core, the only thing I did to the cabbage was I did decore it, and I did take off some outer leaves. That's the only thing I did. Now, once you get down into the center part of the cabbage, which is right about here, you still have a little bit of core left in, even though I took it out from the top. Okay, so what I do is I just take a knife, I just make a V. All right, and these will come in nice and handy if you have a couple of these left over. These will come in super handy when you plate your meal, right? Because you can kind of nestle things inside this. Okay, olive oil, just like this. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to spread this around your cabbage. just like that. Get just a little bit more on there. Okay, that should be plenty. I don't know how much that was, right? You're doing that by eye, just by the shininess of what you got going on. Okay, so now we're just going to turn around. We're just going to season this with just a little bit of salt. This is also going to help pull the moisture out of these too. And we're going to hit these with some fresh cracked pepper. So not a lot of ingredients in this meal, but good ingredients, quality ingredients. And I'm telling you, you really don't need much more than that. Okay, these are going to go in the oven covered because we want to trap the humidity. We want to trap the moisture inside these. Okay, so this is what these look like before they go in the oven. You can probably bake these for about an hour. I'll give you more of an accurate time when I pull these out, let you know exactly how long these been in. All right, these are going in the oven. On with the carrots. So as you can see here, I've got my carrots peeled. Just use a vegetable peeler. You could peel them any way you'd like, and you can make as many as you like. Really, mine started out with a 2-pound bag. I've got probably about 1.5 pounds or so in here. All right, so here's what I do. You can see that these are all different sizes, right? You can see, you know, like this to this, right? Totally two different sizes. One's going to cook faster than the other's going to cook. So you can have a choice here. You can either take out some of your small ones and try to get carrots that are somewhere around the same size, or you can turn around and take your small carrots and you can start cutting these down and see how thick they are, and then coincide these with these. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about because I feel like I just talked in a riddle. Okay, so we're going to take a small carrot. Okay, I always take the ends off. The ends are nice if you're going to roast these. You can also roast these too. And like I said, if you're going to do a complete meal that you're going to do the whole thing in like a Dutch oven pan and keep it on the stovetop or something like that, yeah, listen, you could do this any way you want to. So, all right, so here's the thicker end of this carrot. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm going to keep my eye on. Now, you're going to cut these in a way. Now, again, it's still rustic, but I'm going to try to keep it a little bit fancier. So this is how I'm cutting this particular thing. Okay, and then just roll it a little bit, and that's it. So this is our big side, right? Okay, so if you take another carrot and you turn around and take the ends off, okay, you do that, and then you can cut these any way you want to. See, now this is clearly, that's bigger than that. So what I might do on this one here, if you want to, is you can do that. Now these are pretty much the same size. See how that is? And they're going to cook generally the same way, right? So then you don't have to worry about, like, you know, what's going to cook faster than the other. So that's how I do it. I'm going to finish cooking up or cutting up the rest of these carrots, and we're going to put these in. These are going to be delicious. Only a couple ingredients: butter, salt, pepper, and carrots. That's it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to saute these in a pan, but these are going to be delicious. But we're going to par cook these first in some boiling water. Okay, guys, hang in there. I'm going to cut these up. We'll be right back with you. So I have all my carrots cut up. Okay, so like I said, it's about 1.75 pounds, and this is how we cut them up, about that size, right? Because you want a good bite when you're eating this. Plus, it's a rustic meal. You really don't have to be too picky about how you cut these up. Okay, so over to some boiling water. Okay, so some of the prep, which there isn't much for the carrots. Okay, I have some flat leaf parsley here. You can use curly parsley if you want to. It depends on what taste of parsley that you guys want. One thing isn't wrong, you know, it's basically whatever you guys like. Okay, so I always cut a little bit more than I need, so we're just going to tear a little bit off here. Okay, And I'm gonna grab ourselves a knife, and this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna rough chop. Okay, just like this. You can go as fine or as coarse on this as you want to. That's totally up to you. If you want to see more color, cut it a little bit bigger. I try to go in the middle of being minced and being a full, you know, only just chopping it like a rough chop, okay? Little bit of a lesson here. Finger here, right? All you're doing is rocking your knife, right? Just like this. That's all you're doing. You don't have to push, you don't have to struggle with your blade, okay? Remember that. All you gotta do is just rock, right? See, look. All you gotta do is just control it. Just like that. Okay, parsley's done. Like, just like that. On with the carrots. Okay, so our water is boiling, so carrots go in for approximately 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, we'll see you after these are done. We'll get them in the skillet. Okay, so our cabbage is now done. Our cabbage has been in the oven for about 55 minutes, covered with aluminum foil. Let me show you guys exactly what this is going to look like when this comes out of the oven. Okay, so I love my cabbage like this. All right, look at this. All right, so this is what it's supposed to look like, guys. All right, let me get another pot holder here, and kind of, you can see it's still super hot. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to look like, okay? And this is how you're gonna plate it, just like this, right? All right, so you can see, oh yeah, see, it's nice and soft. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so anyways, this is how I do my cabbage. It's about 1 inch, about 3/4 of an inch, somewhere around there. Baking time is 55 minutes on 350. Now on to the potatoes, to cut the potatoes up. Now I'm just going to show you guys exactly how I do mine. You guys can do them any way you want to. I try to be pretty uniformed with these. If you were wondering why my potatoes are so wet, it's just simply because I peeled them, I put them in some water. I wouldn't leave them there for like 3 or 4 hours or anything like that. You don't want to get them waterlogged, but temporarily until you're ready to slice them is fine. If they're sitting there for, you know, a very short time, you're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I do it. You guys can slice them up any way you want to. I usually start halfway, just like this. Now your knife is going to stick because, you know, you're dealing with a lot of starch. And then I just cut like in 4s or 5s. Okay, that usually gives me about the right size, and then it'll take, I don't know, like 15 minutes or something like that in the boiling water, right? So watch your fingers when you're doing this, obviously, and they're going to be pretty starchy. I'm using a russet potato, in case I didn't say that in the beginning. Okay, so I'm doing russet potatoes, but you can use, listen, you guys can use red potatoes if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. You use whatever potato you want to. You want to use, hey, you can even do salt potatoes, which would be really awesome with this meal. Not that I think that more sodium is needed because of the corned beef, but salt potatoes would be fantastic with this. I personally just like to go old school with this. Just what I do, you know, just this meal. It's just what it is for me. Okay, I'm going to continue to cut these potatoes up, and we're going to get these in the pot. We're going to boil these, and we're going to mix these up, and we're almost ready to plate. Just waiting for the corned beef. That's about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and then we'll check that. Okay, hang in there, guys. All right, guys, just something really quick. You've probably seen me do it in my other videos. If you guys watch my other videos, you can see how cloudy that this water is, right? So what I usually do after I cut them up, and I cut them up into, you know, that kind of size, like I showed you on the other side of the kitchen. So the only thing that I do is I try to get rid of a lot of the starch in these. You can see that I do that also, like when I make you know, home fries for breakfast, right? So I try to get as much starch out of these as I can. So this is all I do. I just kind of give them a bath, put them in here, and then we dump them. Okay, just like that, and then we fill them up with cold water again. And I just want to show you, every now and then I put this in my video. I do not put this in all my potato videos, but I like to reiterate this one step. Okay, so your potatoes won't be like super starchy. You know, you're pulling some of that out of there, right? So, and you'll see how clear that this water will become. Okay, so we're just going to give them another bath. Usually on russet potatoes, usually 2 times is really good. 2 to 3 times. So it might need one more rinse. Now see, again, you can see how cloudy these are getting. Okay, so that just means that you're extracting the starch from these potatoes. Okay, so see how cloudy it became? Okay, so we're just going to do it one more time, and I'll show you almost how crystal clear that these become, which I personally like, just because you're just taking the starch out of them. That's all we're doing. It's not necessary that you do this. If you don't want to do them, don't do it. It's not part of like the so-called recipe. God, I don't like people that do that, and I just did that with my fingers. I like everybody, actually. I just got these quirky things with me. Okay, so see, look, see? All right, and you can mix these as much as you want to, and you're not going to get much more out of these. So this is pretty clean. All right, I'm just gonna. So that's the 3rd time. Okay, and now this time is going to be the water for the cooking process right here. And what do you see? You see how clean these potatoes become now, and all that starch that you got out. It'll make them, like, you know, I find them to be like less gummy. You know, if you do this, and you might find some other benefit, you know, out of this, if it's fact or psychological, right? I guess. All right, so now look at them. See them? Nice and clear. Okay, that's all I want to say. Corned beef is done. I'm sorry about the picture. I'm going to clear that up right now. It's the aluminum foil thing. Makes my camera bug out. Okay, so here we go with what this looks like now when this comes out of the oven. Okay, now I told you guys it was going to shrink down, and indeed it did. Okay, that's normal. It's just what you got. Okay. Internal temperature of about 170 degrees, give or take a few, you know, 2-3 degrees either way. Not a big deal. It's cooked. It's ready to go. But what we're going to do now is we're just going to, believe it or not, that pan is very hot. I don't know how I picked that up without a towel or something. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Corned beef, you need to let this rest. Okay, if you cut into it right now, it's going to dry it out. Okay, so don't take it out of the oven, and don't cut right into it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're gonna do this. Okay, and here we go with the covering of this. Okay, so all you need to do is just take it and push down on it like that. Now we're just going to let that sit. That's all we're going to do. I have the potatoes here. I turn the burner on these. I just want to not forget to tell you guys that your garlic. Now I'm doing 5 cloves of garlic. okay, you're going to throw those right in the water. These are going to be garlic mashed potatoes, okay? So that's all I want to do, is just remind you guys not to forget to put the garlic in. Okay, so we're going to start the carrots right now. I got 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, because I'm going to control the butter myself on this one. But if you have regular butter, salted butter, you can absolutely use that. Not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to just melt this down in the pan. As you can imagine, it smells so good in here. We're on a medium heat for these carrots. Our butter is now melted. Okay, it's starting to turn just a little bit. These carrots are absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna put in some carrots now, just like that. Probably did that backwards for the camera, but that's what we got. Anyways, all right. So we're gonna let these go on a medium heat. Yep, about medium heat. And we're gonna salt and pepper these a little bit later. But for right now, we're just gonna let these go. No big deal. Okay, I'll be back with you guys in shortly. So this is where we're at with the carrots. Okay, you can see the butter is starting to discolorate now. It's about a medium heat, a little more than medium heat. Like I said, you can see the butter starting, it's not separating, but it is starting to turn brown at this point, okay? So we're just going to turn our carrots just like that. And we're going to cook these for, I don't know, maybe another 3-4 minutes, maybe 3 minutes or so. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add a little salt to them, and I am going to add a little pepper to them. Okay, and then we're going to add the parsley right at the end. Okay. Okay, just like that. All right, yeah, you can see it now, right? Look at it. See how brown the butter's getting? That's exactly what we want. Carrots are almost done, so what we're going to do is we're just going to kill the heat at this point. Okay, you can see how nice and brown that butter is in here. Okay, there's a little discoloration on the outside of the carrots. That's what I'm looking for, at least. If you guys want to cook these down a little bit more, you can. If you want to take them off the heat prior to this, you can do that also. Okay, but this seems to be pretty good for me. I'm just going to let this settle out for just a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to add the parsley, because I don't want to fry the parsley. So we're just going to let this kind of cool down a little bit. But this is what you're looking for, or at least this is what I'm looking for. The burner has cooled down a little bit, so now it's time to, we're just going to add some parsley to it, and we're going to toss it just like this. Just get everything nice and coated. Okay. If you want more parsley, put more, put a little bit more parsley in it. I'm just going to throw a little bit more parsley in it. There, just like that. That's plenty. Okay. So our carrots are done. This is exactly what we're looking for. Okay, on to the potatoes. As you've seen me use this bowl before, I do this because it's it's a steel bowl. It keeps the potatoes nice and hot. And you've seen me do this recipe, I'm sure, if you guys watch my channel, okay? Which I'm hoping you are. Hey, hit that subscribe button, will you? That'd be nice. If I get a couple extra subscribers per video, which I usually do. Okay, so obviously what we're going to do here is we're starting off with 1 full stick of butter. I know how that sounds. Don't yell. Okay, anyways, I was just being stupid. We're going to add a little bit of milk, maybe like 1/4 cup of milk as well. And that's all I'm going to do for right now. We're going to get these mixing, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to let you guys see exactly how much of what else I put in. Salt and pepper, we're going to flavor them. These are like basic mashed potatoes, like I said in the beginning of this recipe. Okay, so let me get going with these, and I'll catch you guys in just a second. We'll finish these up and we'll plate this. This is a great meal. This smells so good in my house. All right, let's just give this a little taste, see where we're at. Okay, very good, but we are going to need some more butter, so that's got to happen. We're going to throw approximately another half a stick, roughly. So we're at about a stick and a half. We're going to add probably another 2-3 tablespoons of milk, and we're going to add a little bit of salt. Now we're going to do our salt because I know I'm going to need it, and we're going to do some black pepper. I like black pepper instead of white pepper, but that's, you can add whatever you want to. Okay, so I'm going to just mix these up just a little bit more, and we'll be back with you in a second. Okay guys, so I am done doing the potatoes. This is what they came out like. Very buttery. Salt and pepper is perfect for me. But you guys, season any way you guys like. That's what this is all about. Okay, we're ready to plate this up. All right guys, now we are going to take this piece of corned beef here. Look at this. This looks fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to cut into this, and we're going to see exactly what we got. Oh boy. Woohoo. Yeah, look at that. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to pick this up here, but look at the juice in that, right? It's not dry. Very, very juicy. All right, let's take a couple more pieces here. Okay, just like that. All right, I'm gonna put this aside. All right, guys, let's get plating this up. Here we go. This is how I would do this plate. Okay, so here's our gorgeous. I mean, that's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we have that, and we're gonna turn around, and we are just gonna do like a little type fan there. We're gonna grab our beautiful these carrots. Oh, nice brown butter, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Okay. We're going to turn around, we're going to put some of these gorgeous carrots up here. Just like that. Okay. And now we're going to turn around, and we're going to put some of these really, really good, awesome mashed potatoes. Just like this. Just like that. Okay, let me clean up my area here. All right, so that's it. That's what we got. Okay, so if anybody wants to do something a little different of a St. Patrick's Day meal, maybe try doing your carrots like this. Maybe try roasting your cabbage. Do some whipped potatoes. If you guys want to, and this is the way I do the corned beef. Okay, it's very easy seasonings. You guys seen exactly how I did that. So this is my St. Patrick's Day meal for today. Okay, if you guys like this, how could you not like that, right? Okay, so this is my St. Patrick's Day meal. Listen, if you guys make this, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for me. I'd really appreciate that part of the whole thing. And everybody have a great St. Patrick's Day. If you drink, don't drive. Call an Uber, call a friend of yours, whatever you guys got to do. Make that happen. Okay? All right. Until next week, everybody be safe. And I will see you in the next food video. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.